also got into the youth entrepreneurship program, which was funded through the YMCA. So they provided me with like a lot of different resources via pamphlets and phone calls. So I wound up in the EAU, Department of Homeless Services, which is I think still located on 151st and Walton. And it was a trying process because when you first go in, they look at you like, okay, you're not homeless, and you have to go through this lengthy, I think it's either a 10-day process, and if they process you within 72 hours, they send you to like a shelter or a hotel for a couple of days until they put all the paperwork through to just ensure that you're really homeless. They have to pay visits to your family's home just to make sure that there's no room for you to live. And then I got denied, I think, about, I'll say 4 or 5 times. So I was in and out of the EAU for roughly 6 months before I actually got into a tier 2, which is something like a 1-bedroom apartment, because you have everything included in the unit, and then you just go outside to do everything else. I mean, but all in all, I stayed in school. I actually graduated. I did get my high school diploma through P911, which I'm 100% grateful for. But the shelter experience is nothing that I would want someone else to go through.
No, nobody wants to be homeless, and as much money as New York City has, I feel that no one should be homeless. EAU is a horse of a whole nother color. I don't know how they allow people to go in there, and sometimes people are in there for days waiting for intake to be completed and for them to be placed. And it's just the hoops that you have to jump through in New York as far as being homeless. I feel that we really, really could do better and really need to do better by the homeless people, because they really, really go through a hard time as far as getting help. And it's the ones who don't need the help who abuse the system so bad that they make it so hard for you so that you'll turn away and be like, I don't even want to go through this, because I think that's what they want us to do.
Well, yeah, initially, going through the shelter system, again, it's not a pleasing situation. And while there are people who don't really, who do abuse the system, there are also people such as myself, those that actually needed the services. And again, it took 6 months, for me to take place because, you have this stigma, and this false reality that, okay, you really do have some place to go. And I really didn't have some place to go. So I was kind of shuffled in the mix and put into that melting pot of, okay, we just have to figure this out, and then all along, carrying, and caring for a young child was very, very difficult. And temporarily, her father was there at the time, but that didn't last too long either, So, I mean, it's not a good situation for anyone to be in, but I would say resistance and being diligent and staying focused kind of moves you through, and just, I always say to myself, and that was one of the props I received from the social workers and the counselors that were in the unit, because, they come around, they check your room, they make sure your child is eating, they make sure you have clothing, they make sure you're going to school or working, etc. So I didn't really have like any spare time. It was like Kayla and I, that's my oldest daughter, Dream. We were in and out, you have a curfew, sometimes I didn't make the curfew because I was either at work, I had to pick her up from daycare, I was in school, so I stayed proactive, and I think that's kind of what helped me along with the process.
And I take it that you being homeless and going through and seeing what needed to be done, that's what made you come up with building safer communities and you wanting to be the change that you would like to see. And with that being said, I know that you have some different programs. Can you just go through, I know one of the programs is you help people with recovery. What kind of recovery is it that you help them with?
So I just want to say one thing. Not only being homeless helped me, to kind of be a better person and build a resistance, and also want to empower others. Just the simple fact that, I want to raise the bar and do it responsibly, and that, and show people that you don't have to take a negative route to be a positive and productive role model. You can actually do it the right way. It's a lot harder, but it can be done. So you asked me about recovery coach, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so anybody can technically be a recovery coach. I have a certificate from CCAR, which is the Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery, and I also have the trainer of trainers certificate to actually help someone who's suffering from drug addiction and alcoholism. And it's not only limited to drug addiction and alcoholism. It extends to anyone who needs help from relapsing from everyday life, or who's struggling with gambling, or any area in life, sex addiction.
There is a prophetic word on tonight. And the Lord have impregnated new direction with the word. And the word is the sun is going to shine if you hold out. But first of all, for clarity reasons, the sun that we're talking about is not the celestial body that give off heat, nor that sun that's 92,900,000 miles away from the center of the earth. We're not talking about that sun. But the son that we're talking about is the Son of the living God, the one who died for our sins. Some of you all may refer to him as Jehovah Jireh. Some of you all may refer to him as Jehovah Rapha. But he's the God of my soul. And I want you to know, whatever you're going through, that the sun is going to shine on your behalf. Come on, New Direction. The first verse says this. So many nights I've cried. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You know, I cried for better days. Yes, I did. I've prayed for. Am I talking to some real folk up in here? But through it all, come on. I know. Come on. What do you know, Vincent? What we know is the sun is going to shine. The sun is going to shine. But see, I got to do something. I got to just hold out. Come on, y'all. You got to tell your spirit, man, the sun is going to shine. Come on. The sun is going to shine. If I hold out. That's the song. If I hold out. There's another significant verse that says, sometimes I feel all alone. Come on, y'all got to get with us. Oh, God, I thank you. No one around, no one's there. They can't comprehend the magnitude of what you're going through. But you know what? You got to tell yourself, I must endure. Come on, Nikki. I must endure, for I know. And the nucleus of this song is the sun is going to shine. New Direction. The sun is going to shine. Anybody know what we're talking about?
And we're back on. We had some technical difficulties with the phone and what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the system, but I had a little technical difficulty. So we're going to let Jamia go back to what she was saying about the recovery coach.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just say that a recovery's journey is actually when the individual is stretching beyond abstinence alone, and it includes a full re-engagement process based on hope, resilience, health, and wellness. Again, it's not only limited to alcohol and drug abuse, but if you have any relapses from life in general, life stresses in general, gambling, sex addiction, domestic violence, sexual abuse, we can help you with resources. We can help you be empowered. You know, to teach, we have to remain teachable, and in order to empower, we have to be empowered. So that's basically what recovery coaching is. We also stand on the term adapt, survive, rebuild, and thrive. On a daily basis, we have to do self-reflection, and we have to look inside of ourselves to make sure that moving forward we're being productive members of society. And we have to identify with what makes us strong, what makes us relapse, what makes us angry. You know, so I believe firmly in self-reflection. And like I said, anybody can be a recovery coach. You just have to have the necessary training through CCAR, which is, again, it's the Community for Addictions Recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be a recovery coach and help someone else.
Well, I see that you're very big on helping other people, because on top of being the recovery coach, you have so much under your belt. What is after you help them recover, what else do you help them do?
So again, not only am I a recovery coach and I help people with certain relapses, I also teach the recovery coach training. And again, you will become, you will get the certificate of completion and also 30 hours for KSAC renewal, CPT or CPS credited hours, and also CEU credited hours. So those services, I'm one of the providers for OASIS. In addition, you know, I have other educational and training services via not a batterers intervention program, because that's actually what I teach, but more or less a healthy relationships project.
Mm-hmm.
And in that healthy relationships project, we kind of work on people who have had past or present domestic violence issues, and who just want to work on strengthening their relationship. You know, most of my services are stemmed around people coming for the services for self-will. It's not, you know, not only mandated clients, but people who just want to have a stronger relationship with their partners. You know, I think in life we all have to have healthy relationships in order to kind of make it through. You know, I'll just give you some key points that I talk about. So in the Healthy Relationships Project, we kind of explore defining a healthy relationship, exploring the family history, the cycle of abuse, the pros and cons of personality traits, defining relationship goals, and managing emotions, effective communication, and what it actually means to have a healthy relationship. I know a lot of people have heard of the breakup. We talk a little bit about that. And we also speak about exploring power and control issues versus strengthening the relationship via equality. And this Healthy Relationships project is actually $25 per session. Yeah. So that's the Healthy Relationships project.
So is that the because I know you have a program where you work with men that what do you do with the men in terms of domestic violence?
Okay, so I don't only focus on men with my Healthy Relationships project. I actually just focus on people in general that are in relationships. So that can be working with the LGBTQA community, veterans, because we know a lot of veterans face domestic violence issues. We work with also people who are in heterosexual relationships, because again, this is about building and strengthening and, you know, healthy relationships. And you don't have to actually be facing domestic violence issues, but just want to have a better sense of what a relationship is and how to deal with anger and trauma and different things.
Oh, okay.
So it's preventive services. Intervention normally deals with someone who has already been identified as having the issue or the problem. My main goal is to prevent the issue or the problem from occurring, you know, and to reduce recidivism. We don't want people getting locked up for domestic violence issues, and we can kind of nip it in the bud and show them how to to have healthy relationships.